You welcome U.S. Coins 1943 coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine finding a simple quarter in your pocket, only to discover that it could be worth an incredible amount of money. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins in American history, Top 1 Special 1965 Quarter Dollar. This coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but certain rare versions of it have shocked the numismatic world with their value. Stick around until the end of this video, because we'll be revealing just how much this coin could be worth today. You won't want to miss it. The year 1965 was a major turning point for U.S. coinage. Before this year, quarters were made of 90% silver, but due to rising silver prices and economic concerns, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision. They removed silver from circulating quarters and replaced it with a copper-nickel clad composition. This change marked the beginning of the modern quarter as we know it today. However, with such a massive transition taking place, a few unusual coins slipped through the cracks, coins that are now worth a fortune. Let's start by taking a closer look at the design of this fascinating coin. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find the familiar image of George Washington. This portrait, originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan, has been featured on U.S. quarters since 1932. Above Washington's head, you'll see the word Liberty, and to the left, the national motto, "In God We Trust." Below the portrait, the year 1965 is clearly inscribed. But unlike quarters from other years, you won't find a mint mark. This is because the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967 to discourage hoarding during the transition away from silver. And now, let's flip the coin over to the reverse side. Here, you'll see the bold and majestic image of a bald eagle, wings spread wide. The eagle clutches a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing America's strength and readiness to defend itself. Below the eagle, you'll notice a laurel wreath, representing peace and victory. Around the top edge of the coin, the words United States of America and the Latin motto E pluribus unum are inscribed, while the denomination quarter dollar is clearly marked at the bottom. So, what makes the 1965 quarter so valuable? The key lies in its rarity, condition, and any potential minting errors. Since this was the first year that quarters were produced in copper-nickel rather than silver, some rare error coins were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These silver 1965 quarters are considered some of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. Additionally, some 1965 quarters exhibit striking mistakes, such as double die errors, off-center strikes, and wrong planchet errors. These rare variations make certain coins one of a kind, and collectors are willing to pay huge amounts to add them to their collections. But it's not just error coins that hold value, condition plays a major role as well. Most 1965 quarters were heavily circulated, meaning they have scratches, wear, and discoloration. However, a small number have survived in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. These high-grade examples can fetch impressive prices at auctions, especially if they've been certified by a professional grading service. If you're wondering where to find one of these valuable 1965 quarters, start by checking old coin rolls, estate sales, and coin collections. Many people don't realize they might have a rare coin sitting in their pocket change. If you come across a 1965 quarter, inspect it carefully. If it appears to be in excellent condition or has unusual characteristics, consider getting it professionally evaluated. It might just be worth more than you ever imagined. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a rare 1965 quarter dollar in pristine, uncirculated condition, or one of the extremely rare silver-struck error coins, it could be worth an astonishing $79,000. That's right, a single quarter could be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. This is why coin collecting is such an exciting and rewarding hobby. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure. So, start checking your coins, keep an eye out for those special details, and who knows? You might just have a fortune hiding in plain sight. Top 2 today. we have something truly special for you, an unassuming yet incredibly valuable coin that could be sitting unnoticed in your collection or pocket change. We're talking about the 1983 Washington quarter, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but holds secrets that could make it worth an astonishing sum. Stay with me until the end, because you won't believe how much this little piece of American history can be worth. Let's dive deep into the story behind this remarkable coin, what makes it rare, the errors that can skyrocket its value, and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the right one. The 1983 quarter was minted in a time of economic recovery in the United States. The early 1980s were marked by financial struggles, inflation, and shifting government policies, which influenced every aspect of American life, including its coinage. One crucial fact about quarters from 1983 is that they were heavily used in everyday transactions. Unlike many other years, the U.S. Mint did not release official mint sets in 1982 or 1983. That means collectors had no easy way to obtain pristine, uncirculated examples of these coins. Because of this, most 1983 quarters were used and spent, developing scratches, dings, and general wear over time. Finding one in near-perfect condition is extremely difficult, and that's one of the key reasons why this coin is so desirable today. Now, let's talk about the design. The obverse of the 1983 quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's strong profile has been a staple of U.S. quarters since 1932. Surrounding his image, you'll find the inscriptions Liberty at the top and In God We Trust to the left, with the date 1983 at the bottom. On the reverse, we see a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons, symbolizing America's strength and readiness to defend its freedom. Below the eagle, an olive branch represents peace. The words United States of America arch above the eagle, with E pluribus unum beneath it, and quarter dollar at the bottom. At first glance, this design might seem like just another quarter, but certain factors make the 1983 edition particularly special. One of the biggest reasons collectors go crazy for this coin is the rarity of high-quality examples. Since mint sets were not officially produced in 1983, it's extremely hard to find a quarter from this year in uncirculated condition. Coins that have survived without major scratches, bag marks, or wear are extremely rare, making them highly sought after. But there's more. Errors and variations play a huge role in boosting the value of this coin. Some 1983 quarters were struck with misalignments, off-center strikes, or even double dies, which occur when the design is accidentally stamped more than once, creating a ghost-like doubling effect on the letters or images. One of the most famous errors is the spitting eagle variety. This occurs when a die crack forms near the eagle's beak on the reverse, making it look like the bird is spitting. Collectors love error coins because they are unique, and this particular variety can significantly increase the value of the 1983 quarter. Another rare error to look for is the missing clad layer. U.S. quarters are made of a copper core sandwiched between two layers of nickel. Sometimes, one of these nickel layers is missing, exposing the copper underneath. A 1983 quarter with this error is incredibly rare and valuable. So, why should collectors pay attention to this coin? The answer is simple: scarcity, historical significance, and the thrill of the hunt. Finding a well-preserved 1983 quarter or one with a rare error is like striking gold in the numismatic world. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is this coin actually worth? If you happen to own a 1983 quarter in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare error, it could be worth an incredible $56,000. That's right. A simple quarter, just 25 cents in face value, could be worth a life-changing amount of money. So, if you've got an old jar of coins or some loose change lying around, it's time to start checking those dates and mint marks. You never know, you could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more hidden treasures in the world of rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more exciting discoveries coming your way. Top 3 1973 Washington quarter could be worth an absolute fortune. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll find out just how much this seemingly ordinary quarter could be worth, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. The 1973 quarter might not seem like anything special at first glance, but hidden among these coins are rare variations, minting errors, and pristine condition specimens that collectors are willing to pay enormous sums of money for. If you've ever wondered what makes certain coins rare and valuable, then this is the video for you. Before we get into what makes this particular quarter so special, let's take a quick look at its history. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin has remained a favorite among collectors for decades. By the time 1973 rolled around, the United States Mint was producing millions of these quarters, but something unique about this year's batch makes it stand out from the rest. The 1970s were a period of economic uncertainty, rising inflation, and increasing demand for everyday coinage. Because of this, most of the quarters produced in 1973 were heavily circulated, making high-grade, well-preserved examples extremely rare today. Now, let's break down the design of this iconic coin. On the obverse, or front side, of the 1973 quarter, you'll see the classic portrait of George Washington. His strong, determined expression is surrounded by the words "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" just to the left. Below Washington's neck is the year 1973. If you look closely, you'll also notice a small letter beneath the year, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. If there is no letter, then the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the majestic image of an American bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons. This design represents the strength and resilience of the United States, while the olive branches beneath the eagle symbolize peace. The words "United States of America" curve along the top, while "E Pluribus Unum" is inscribed just below. At the bottom, you'll see the denomination quarter dollar. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: what makes the 1973 quarter rare and valuable. First and foremost, the condition of the coin is a major factor. Since most of these quarters were used in everyday transactions, it's incredibly difficult to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that have remained untouched and well-preserved are highly sought after by collectors. If you have a 1973 quarter with no scratches, marks, or signs of wear, it could be worth much more than face value. But beyond condition, what really makes some 1973 quarters worth big money are the rare minting errors. These errors occur during the production process when something goes wrong at the mint, resulting in unique variations that collectors go crazy for. One of the most valuable errors found in 1973 quarters is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice with a slight misalignment, causing a doubling effect on the lettering or design elements. If you have a 1973 quarter with doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, you might be holding a rare gem. Another rare error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, leading to a design that is shifted to one side. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Then there's the missing clad layer error. Since U.S. quarters are made of a copper core with an outer layer of nickel, sometimes the top layer is missing, revealing the copper beneath. A 1973 quarter with a missing clad layer is a rare find and can fetch a significant price at auction. Collectors also seek out 1973 quarters with die cracks, tiny lines or raised marks on the surface of the coin caused by wear and tear on the minting dies. These imperfections make the coin unique, increasing its value to collectors who love one-of-a-kind pieces. And now, let's talk about one of the rarest and most valuable versions of the 1973 quarter, the proof coin. Proof quarters were struck using specially polished dies to create an incredibly sharp and detailed finish. While most proof coins were carefully preserved, a few found their way into circulation. If you happen to come across a proof 1973 quarter, you could be looking at a highly desirable collector's item. So, why should you care about these coins? Because hidden among millions of common quarters are a few rare treasures that can be worth a life-changing amount of money. And now, The moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can a rare 1973 quarter be worth? If you have a 1973 quarter in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or one with a rare mint error, it could be worth an astounding $73,000. That's right, $73,000 for a single quarter. So, the next time you come across a 1973 quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Check the condition, look for errors, and inspect the details carefully. You never know, you might be holding onto a small fortune without even realizing it. Top 4 1994 P Washington Quarter, a coin that may seem ordinary but has certain rare features that could make it worth an astonishing amount of money. By the end of this video, you'll find out exactly what makes this quarter so valuable and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the right one. So stick around because you won't want to miss this. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. Designed by John Flanagan, it was initially introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over the years, the design has remained mostly unchanged, making it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. But as with all coins, not every batch is the same, and certain variations and errors can turn an everyday quarter into a highly sought-after collector's item. The 1994 P quarter was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse of the coin. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, but only a select few are considered rare and valuable today. The key to determining the worth of your quarter lies in three main factors: condition, rarity, and errors. Let's start with the condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated often develop scratches, wear, and damage over time. However, finding a 1994 P quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Collectors prize these high-quality examples because they are so difficult to find. If you have a 1994 P quarter that looks brand new, with a sharp design and no visible signs of wear, it could be worth much more than just 25 cents, but what really makes this coin exciting are the rare minting errors that occurred during production. Some of these errors are so unique that they can drastically increase the value of the coin. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die variety. This happens when the coin is struck twice, creating a slight overlapping or ghosting effect on the design elements. If you look closely at the words Liberty or In God We Trust and notice any doubling, you might have an incredibly valuable quarter. Another rare error to watch out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in a design that appears shifted to one side. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Then there's the missing clad layer error. U.S. quarters are made of a copper core with an outer layer of nickel, giving them their familiar silver color. Occasionally, one of these layers is missing, revealing the reddish-brown copper underneath. A 1994 P quarter with a missing clad layer is a rare find and can command a high price among collectors. One of the most visually striking errors is the broad strike error. This happens when a coin is struck without the retaining collar that helps shape its edges. As a result, the coin appears wider and flatter than a normal quarter. Since broad strike errors are quite rare, collectors are always on the lookout for them. Die cracks and cuds are other fascinating errors that can add significant value to a 1994 P quarter. Die cracks occur when the dies used to stamp the coin develop small fractures, resulting in raised lines or bumps on the surface of the coin. A cud is a larger, more noticeable die break that creates a blob-like mark on the coin's edge. Both of these errors are highly collectible because they make each coin unique. Proof-like strikes and satin finishes are another feature that can make a 1994 P quarter stand out. Although most of these coins were struck for general circulation, some rare specimens were minted with a higher level of detail and shine, giving them a special appearance. These coins often come from the first few strikes of a new die, and if you happen to have one in flawless condition, it could be worth significantly more than face value. So, why do collectors go crazy for these rare quarters? The answer is simple: scarcity, uniqueness, and historical significance. Many of these rare error coins were never intended to reach the public, making them highly desirable among collectors. Owning one of these rare 1994 P quarters is like holding a piece of minting history in your hands. And now, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. Just how much could a rare 1994 P quarter be worth? If you have a 1994 P quarter in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or one with a rare mint error, it could be worth an astounding $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single quarter. So, the next time you go through your change or old coin collection, be sure to take a close look at your quarters. You never know, you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Top 5 1965 Washington quarter that might just be worth a small fortune. While this quarter might seem like any other, some rare varieties and unique minting errors have made certain 1965 quarters incredibly valuable to collectors. So, if you've ever wondered whether an old quarter in your possession could be worth thousands, you'll want to watch this video until the very end. Before we dive into what makes the 1965 quarter so special, let's take a quick look at its history. The Washington quarter has been a part of American currency since 1932, when it was introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin has remained one of the most iconic and widely recognized pieces of U.S. currency. However, 1965 was a year of significant change in the world of coinage. Up until 1964, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, making them valuable not just as currency but also for their silver content. However, due to rising silver prices and a national coin shortage, the U.S. Mint made a major change in 1965. They removed silver from the quarter entirely and switched to a copper-nickel composition. This marked the beginning of the modern clad quarter era, and since then, quarters have been produced with a copper core and a nickel outer layer. This transition in 1965 resulted in some interesting and highly valuable errors, making certain quarters from this year worth a staggering amount of money today. Now, let's talk about the design of this coin. On the obverse, or front side, you'll see the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by Flanagan. His strong, stoic expression is framed by the word liberty above his head, with "In God We Trust" inscribed just to the left. Below Washington's portrait, you'll find the year 1965. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the familiar image of an American bald eagle, its wings spread wide while clutching a bundle of arrows. This powerful image represents strength and readiness for defense. Beneath the eagle, you'll notice olive branches, symbolizing peace. Along the top, the words "United States of America" are inscribed, followed by "E pluribus unum," and at the bottom, you'll see quarter dollar. Now that we've covered the history and design, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: what makes the 1965 Washington quarter so rare and valuable. The first factor is condition. Most quarters from 1965 have been in circulation for decades, meaning they've been worn down, scratched, and handled countless times. Finding a 1965 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is incredibly rare. Collectors and investors are always searching for high-grade specimens because the better the condition, the higher the value. If you come across a 1965 quarter that looks brand new, without any wear or damage, you could be holding a very valuable coin. But what really sets certain 1965 quarters apart are the minting errors. One of the most famous errors is the 1965 silver quarter. That's right, although the U.S. Mint officially switched to copper-nickel quarters in 1965, a small number of quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These error coins are extremely rare and can be worth thousands of dollars. If you suspect you have one, the best way to check is by weighing the coin. A regular 1965 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter will weigh around 6.25 grams. If you have one that weighs more than usual, you might have a rare and valuable silver quarter. Another valuable error to look out for is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin is struck twice with a slight misalignment, causing some of the letters or design elements to appear doubled. If you notice a doubling effect on Liberty, "In God We Trust," or any other part of the coin, it could be a rare double die quarter worth big money. Then there's the off-center strike error. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in a design that is shifted to one side. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some off-center errors with missing portions of the design have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the rarest and most visually striking errors is the missing clad layer error. Since the 1965 quarter was made with a copper core and nickel outer layer, some coins were struck with the nickel layer missing, exposing the reddish-brown copper underneath. These quarters have a distinct appearance and are highly sought after by collectors. Another error that can add value is the broad strike error. This occurs when the coin is struck without the retaining collar that shapes its edges. As a result, the coin appears wider and flatter than normal. Since broad strike errors are rare, they can significantly increase the value of a 1965 quarter. Die cracks and cuds are other fascinating errors that can make a 1965 quarter valuable. These occur when the minting dies develop small fractures, creating raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Larger die breaks, known as cuds, can create even more dramatic effects, making these coins especially attractive to collectors. Now, let's talk about one of the most valuable versions of the 1965 quarter, the proof-like and Hyman state specimens. While the U.S. Mint did not officially produce proof sets in 1965, some quarters were struck with higher precision and detail, resulting in a proof-like or satin finish. These coins are extremely rare, and if you happen to have one in pristine condition, it could be worth a fortune. So, why are collectors willing to pay so much for these rare 1965 quarters? It all comes down to scarcity, uniqueness, and historical significance. Coins with errors or special characteristics are incredibly hard to find, making them highly desirable among numismatists. Owning one of these rare quarters is like owning a piece of minting history. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for: just how much can a rare 1965 quarter be worth? If you have a 1965 quarter in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or one with a rare mint error, it could be worth an astounding $79,000. Yes, you heard that right, $79,000 for a single quarter. So, the next time you go through your change, be sure to check those 1965 quarters carefully. You never know, you might just have a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!